I think we can start, but I wanted to ask everybody to make sure your cell phones are off or on vibrate at least, so that nobody ends up getting stared at. And I'd like to call this town meeting to order. And as I start, I just wanted to take a minute because of something new in town. I wanted to thank Chief Mike very much on the speed limit signs. I think every one of us are finding out in a very polite way that we're going a little too fast. And thank you for giving us a few months to realize that none of us are perfect. But it is polite to see it say, thank you. So we appreciate that. Okay. I think we can get started here.
Mr. Moderator?
Yes.
Point of order?
Yeah.
Do we, what's the count that's been checked in? Do we have a count?
Okay. I know they don't have a count, but if you're calling for a quorum count, I guess we can do. And if we don't have one, we'll have to wait here until we have one. So, do you want to count? Chris? Yes. How about Paul and and if we're not there or we're close, we'll have to wait until people show up.
I can record. Everybody at the table, and how about everybody?
You got to count everybody.
Counted us too.
Count it up.
Paul, were we counted? Yeah.
And that table, Paul. Paul, and that table.
They count? No, no, not Marlene.
Okay.
So,
And not
so what is your count?
Your
I got
husband's
Bob.
still coming.
here. Your husband's here.
Yep. 59,
And you added your husband.
60. So you're adding to your total? Two more just sat at yours, so that's 26. You count, okay, walked in, okay. Okay, so we have 60.
Okay. So we have 60, so we have to wait, Chris.
My suggestion is everybody turn on their cell phones.
If people want to call other people to come down, that's fine. Usually we just move ahead, but we'll have to wait. So if you want to call somebody, you can ask them to come down. Okay, we've had more people show up. I'm going to try to open the meeting. If someone objects again, we will have to wait here for eternity into the night. So let's hope we can go through with this and get this over quickly. I'd like to, you guys want to start with your motions, with your...
Joe, can I say something?
Yes, you can, Darryl.
Thank everybody. So can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
Put it to your mouth and talk loud.
Can you hear me now?
A little louder.
There we go.
There you
All
go.
right. Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Darryl Williams, Chairman of the Finance Committee. I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. We all up here are not real big fans of special town meetings, and so thank you for showing up. We're doing our darndest to avoid them. And the good news tonight is we're not here asking you for money out of our stabilization accounts. We're excited about that. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. This town meeting was planned 3 weeks ago. We planned this without really knowing how much free cash DOR was going to certify for us. So it led to some challenges. So there's several articles on here asking for money as we go through this. Some of these, we are going to ask you to table them. When we get to them, we'll explain why. But the biggest thing we want to get across to you is our top priority, all of us up here, is correcting our financial position in town. The town has been working really hard at this the past couple of years. We feel good. We got 17 taken care of. Our next priority is to take care of fiscal year 18. We are going to ask you to put some money into stabilization, which I know you generously have allowed us to spend the past couple of years, but I want to put a caveat to that. One of the things we're doing is putting extra money into stabilization just in case we have some issues that come up as we try to take care of fiscal year 18. Last year, or this year in January, we had $200,000 that we had to spend to correct problems in 17. We don't know if there are going to be problems in 18. We're anticipating that there won't be, but just in case, we want there to be enough money in stabilization so we can go to you and ask to take that out to take care of it, to take care of any potential problem. And the last thing I want to say is we've all worked together very well as a team, all on the Finance Committee, with the Board of Selectmen. It's not been a great situation, but we've worked well together. So does anybody else have anything else they want to add to this?
I just want to say thank you, Daryl. As you know, Daryl's a much better speaker when he talks about the financial issues than myself. But again, the whole thing is trying to make sure we put more money into stabilization, fund those things that we really need, and to move forward. And as we move along, we'll explain if you have any questions on the articles. So do any of my colleagues have anything to add to that?
No, thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Jaworski.
I move we take up Article 1.
Motion is made and seconded to take up Article 1, as in your handout. Is there any discussion?
Second. Oh, you got to.
Oh, second, okay. Do you want to read Article 1?
Okay. I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $20,000 for the purpose of funding the fiscal year 2018 health insurance budget deficit and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
Motion's been made and seconded by Brian.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion?
Michael Pashek, 3 Prospect Street. Just if you could report on what was actually certified for free cash, a dollar amount?
$348,000 was certified for free cash.
Is there any other discussion on this article? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article passes.
Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Moriarty.
Mr. Moderator, I move we take up Article 2.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded to take up Article 2 is in your handout.
Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Moriarty.
I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $30,587 for the purpose of funding the fiscal year 2018 Smith Vocational Tuition and Transportation Budget Deficit and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
Motion's been made, seconded, and read as in Article 2. Is there any discussion? All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Mrs. Doty.
I move to take up Article 3.
Motion's been made and seconded to take up Article 3 is in your handout.
I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $15,000 for the purpose of funding the fiscal year 2018 town administrator expense budget for professional accounting services deficit and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
Motion's been read and seconded as in Article 3. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Jaworski.
I move to take up Article 4.
Motion's been made and seconded to take up Article 4 is in your handout.
I move that the town vote to amend the fiscal year 2019 accounting professional services budget line item by appropriating the sum of $3,510 for the purpose of funding and other post-employment benefits liability actuarial study, and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
Motion's been read and seconded as in Article 4. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Moriarty.
I would like to move Article 5 to come after Article 11 as we go through tonight's warrant.
Is there a second? Motion's been made to move Article 5 to
Right, it would come after Article 11.
So to take it out of order.
Take it out of order is what
All
we're
those in favor? Any discussion? Michael?
Brian, take a minute to explain.
Sure. Thanks. Glad to do it. Thank you. So Article 5 is basically, after we go through the rest of the articles that are in tonight's town meeting warrant, whatever funding has not been expended on those other articles, we want to move into free cash. And so excuse me, yep, it is free cash, into stabilization. So the idea here is let's leave that article till the end so we know what the amount will be, and then we'll do the motion and everybody will have an idea of what that amount is. Is that good? Mike? Or, sorry.
Okay,
Joe.
so the motion been made and seconded to move Article 5 to just after Article 11. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Ms. Doty.
I move to take up Article 6.
Motion's made and seconded to take up Article 6 is in your handout.
I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $40,000 for the purpose of reimbursing the ambulance surplus fund and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
Motion's been made and seconded as in your handout in Article 6. And again, all of these articles, if you notice, are approved and recommended by the Finance Committee. Is there any discussion on Article 6? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Jaworski.
I move to take up Article 7. Before, we would like to table Article 7, and the reason for that is we have talked to the DPW director, and he feels that this can wait, and also we are using that money to go back into stabilization.
Okay. Article 7 and second. It's been made and seconded to table Article 7. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Moriarty.
I move to take up Article 8.
Second. Second. Motions are made and seconded to take up Article 8 is in your handout.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Moriarty.
I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $13,000 for the purpose of leasing paramedic equipment and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
You've heard Article 8 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Mrs. Doty.
I move to take up Article number 9.
Is that one going to be tabled or not?
Yes, it is.
So you have to make a motion to do that?
Yes.
To table it?
Right.
No, you have to make a motion to table it.
Right, correct. I know
Okay.
that. I make a motion. Article number 9 was for the appropriation of funds in the amount of $48,000 for the purpose of replacing the Jaws of Life. After discussion, it was agreed that it would be more feasible to possibly wait till fall, again, due to the unknown financial expenses in 2018 and replenish stabilization. So I move to table Article 9.
Motions are made and seconded to table Article 9. Is there any discussion? There is no discussion, excuse me. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Jaworski.
I move that we take up Article 10.
Motion's been made and seconded to take up Article 10 is in your handout.
I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $10,000 for the purpose of funding the 350th Anniversary Special Fund and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
Motion's been made and seconded as for Article 10 is in your handout. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Article passes.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Moriarty.
I move that we table Article 11.
Is there a second? Second. Okay.
Okay. May I make a comment?
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
It's like the others.
Right.
Late.
Motion's been made. You already seconded it. Excuse me. You've heard the motion made to table Article 11. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Now you're on 5. Now you're on 5.
Okay. All right. So we are on Article 5. So,
what's the
so yeah, so
215?
Can you make a motion to appropriate leftover funds from free cash?
Everyone agree on that amount before I
You gotta specify
a dollar.
okay, the high financing taking place. So Article 5 is the amount of money that we're looking to take from free cash and put into stabilization. So I move that the town vote to appropriate the sum of $215,903 for the purpose of funding the stabilization fund and to meet said appropriation from free cash.
You've heard the article read and seconded as an Article 5. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay.
Mr.
Now-
Moderator,
Ms. Doughty.
I move to take up Article number 12.
Motion's been made and seconded to take up Article 12 as in your handout. Because you have this in the handout, and I think it is a whole lot for you to read in there, and if you want to just go to the handout, if anybody has an objection, we can read that.
Yeah, she's got the one.
Okay, you have the language. So in Article 12, is there any discussion?
No, she's going to make the motion.
You got to make the motion.
Yes, I do.
Okay, my apology.
That's okay. I move that the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the general court for special legislation substantially in the form as set forth below and also printed in your handout.
Second.
You've heard the article presented and seconded in Article 12. Is there any discussion? In the back.
Jeff McCullough, North Street. So I know at the last town meeting we approved our marijuana bylaw and then we tied it to a percentage of our liquor licenses. Does this mean in voting for this we're also increasing the number of marijuana facilities that retail establishments allowed in the community?
You guys are the agency.
I believe it's just for the liquor license. That's my understanding. There's one store in town that requested it because they presently do have, I believe, a beer or wine license, but they want to also sell the alcohol. So this would be a request from them to us to ask for that additional license. This is just for, my understanding, alcohol. Do I stand corrected on that?
But if the bylaw says it's tied to the number that we have, then that would, if you increase that. then-
So I'm guessing we don't really have an answer. I don't see Bob Wagner here to clarify that with us. If you can do me one favor before you leave, if you can, you don't have to do it out here, but if you can give Lydia your name because she records everything down, she's got to have it down. So you won't be arrested. Don't worry. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article carries.
Mr. Moderator,
Mr. Jaworski.
I move we take up Article 13.
Motions are made and seconded to take up Article 13 is in your handout.
I move that the town vote to authorize, as printed in your handout.
No, keep, no.
This is a request from the school.
Ed, can I make the motion? May I make
How about if
the-
she reads it,
Yes.
does it for you?
I move that the town vote, sorry. I'm usually pretty loud. It's on? Okay. I move that the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to accept on behalf of the town an exclusive right and permanent easement as printed in your handouts.
Second.
You've heard Article 13 presented and seconded as in your handout. Is there any discussion? Ed?
Ed Lesko, 131 Main Street. Just want to know where this easement is going to take place, exactly whereabouts, on Primrose Path, or?
Is there anybody here to talk on that?
I don't know. John?
Oh,
Okay,
go ahead.
David will talk.
This is the man we're looking for. Our newest retired.
Happy retirement, David.
Thank you. David Keir, Bridge Street. The easement is through the property at 16 Pleasant View Drive to bring utilities, electricity and water from Pleasant View Drive to the field behind Smith Academy in the hopes of our building the new field hockey field, which was approved with community preservation money at the May town meeting. That's what this is for. It's just to bring the utilities out to that area.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Michael?
I apologize to everyone. Mike Cahill, North Street. I didn't ask any questions of the financial. Only because I've been meeting with these guys for the last 3 months, so I'm privy to everything that's been going on.
I think it's because we're all retiring.
Fully support, everything that transpired so far tonight. Dollar-wise, I just wanted to ask, is the owner of 16 Pleasant View Drive, have they agreed to cooperate with this easement? Okay, so if he hasn't approved that easement, how can the town accept it? Okay.
Well, may I? I believe they needed this vote first in order to then move forward with the documents that everyone needs to sign, right? And yes, not only that owner, but that whole stretch of residents. We had a meeting with the school committee and have reached out to everybody in advance to make sure everybody was on board, and they are. So we appreciate everything the neighbors have done for us as well.
Any other discussion?
Dick Banishewski, 14 Pleasant View Drive. I talked with Jeff yesterday, and there is no easement signed. So how can you vote on this?
Yeah, town council.
There's no easement signed.
All right, why don't you give an opinion?
Hi, Tom Mullen, I'm the acting town council. Under Chapter 40, Section 14, we need a town meeting vote authorizing the acceptance of any interest in land, and an easement is an interest in land. And this is an entirely friendly, cooperative transaction. It is not a taking against the will of the owner. In fact, he is donating very generously this easement to the town.
Not as far as I know.
That's why there's no appropriation here in this article.
Well, I talked to him yesterday, and he's got a lawyer. I mean, what you offered, or whatever it is, isn't a very large sum.
Well, there's been no offer, because if there were, there'd have to be an appropriation.
Well, there was $1.
There was $1, which is nominal consideration. That's actually been rewritten to take out the $1 and just say for nominal consideration.
I just don't know how you can vote on it when there's no easement signed.
What we are voting on is the authorization for the town to accept the easement,
If and when they get it.
Okay.
if it occurs.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's not a land taking. We never want to get into that realm. Any other discussion? Michael?
I mean, so can we amend this article and make it contingent upon an agreement, the easement agreement between the town and these landowners? Is there?
There's no need to. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no need to, because this only authorizes the Board of Selectmen to accept something. If that thing is not offered, there's nothing to accept.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Article carries. I just want to say it's been a really long year getting through this financial thing we're doing, and this is just about the very, very end. FY18 will be very telling, but I have to thank this financial team. The whole Finance Committee works for nothing. They've busted their butt to get us here. Here we are 3 days before the year is out. Thank you so very much. Really. And thank all of you for showing up. I know some of you we had to call and get you here, but it's so appreciative. It's our town, and it's not free cash. It's our cash. All of ours. Thank you for coming. I adjourn this meeting.
20-minute meeting, I think that's a record.